So, Fred, we understand you just got back last night from a family vacation.
We were all over the place. We were in London. We went to Paris. I had a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 4-year-old. We were in Greece. We went everywhere with the kids. It was amazing.
So, okay, amazing, or was it, do you
Hectic.
need a vacation now?
You know, I thought it was going to be, we didn't know how, it's the first time we did a trip like that with all 3 kids, so we didn't know how it was going to go, but it actually was like this really great kind of magical family bonding. No one fought. You know, my wife and I are still married. Like, all the things, like, it's a win. I told my wife, I'm like, if we come back with all 3 kids and work together, like,
a victory.
that's a big win for us.
How do you all mobilize? How do you get around?
We actually rented a car. We were in Mykonos for a week.
Yeah.
And we rented a car, and my wife drives stick. I don't drive stick. So she is like cruising all over.
Of course you don't drive stick. You're a Hollywood star, for God's sake.
I don't drive stick. I'm driven in a manual transmission by my wife. And so we're staying up this, and so we get there at night, and we've never been there before, and it's dark, and we get something to eat. So we're heading back home at like 1 in the morning, up these steep, steep hills. And the car stalls. We slip out of gear.
Oh, no.
And so we're trying to get into gear, and we keep sliding back and back. And there's no guardrails. There's no safety measures.
No.
And so my wife, we make the mistake. She goes, you know, I kind of freaked out. And the kids hear it, so they're freaking out. We're in the dark. We're rolling back on a hill. My kids are old enough to, like, they're young enough to be scared, but old enough to be really articulate. So they're like, why would you put us in this situation if you don't know how to handle it? They're crying, and they make a great point. Like, we really put ourselves in danger. So a car pulls up and just idles behind us. There's a narrow road, just idles behind us. And I'm like, I'm gonna go get some help. It's a great idea. So I walk out of the car, in the middle of the night, to this car. I can only see the headlights. And halfway there, I'm like, you know what? This is if I was watching a movie, I would say, don't do that.
Right.
Stay in the car.
This is a 48-hour special.
This is right.
I saw
This is
this
special.
on 48 Hours.
But for me, we're either gonna roll off the side of the hill, or, I don't know, our fate with these people. So I'm gonna go with these people.
Right.
So I knock on the window, and they're just as freaked out. Like, yeah? I'm like, we can't get the car in gear. Can you help us drive our car? And they're like, hold on. So they put out the window, and they talk to each other.
They're afraid of you.
They're afraid of me.
Yeah.
Now I'm the weird guy. I'm like, oh, I'm the weird guy? But I am. I'm the weird guy knocking on their window. So he gets out. I'm like, honey, okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'll walk ahead to see where our house is, where we're staying, and the guy will get the car. She goes, you're not gonna leave the wife and the family in the car with this guy?
Yeah, I mean, they
I'm
just
like,
made a movie about this.
I
I was
know.
gonna say, wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal
Yeah,
in this
Jake
movie?
Gyllenhaal.
I was like Nocturnal Animals.
This is it.
Nocturnal Animals.
Right.
Does not end well for that family.
No.
Nocturnal Animals.
No.
So I'm like, okay, great. So then I'll be in the car with him and you'll go ahead. She goes, yeah. So we go ahead. This guy's like, it was so nice. We get to the house, and as he's leaving, he says, oh, I have a store in town. Come look for Giorgio. I'm like, okay, great. So we go in town the next door. Giorgio happens to own 4 jewelry stores.
Oh, my God.
So we get home. Everyone wins, and Giorgio, the jeweler, like saved us from ourselves and my bad decision making.
And by the way, that was the first night. That was the first night of
That was the first
in
night.
Mykonos.
That was the first night.